Initiating match. Ready for battle. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Trying to keep behind. Winnipeg getting 3. As again, Rusty's left to be staggered. They have 2 ultimates on the board. Also having their 2.
What do we think about this? This competition together?
I didn't think we'd be able to get one to Spear. Anthony came out as well as a character, as well as a Death Blossom. It's Fate really committing to this fight. NACE. We see Seismic Slam come out, almost getting 1. And that Doom just pushed back out of the way. Doom just carrying the kill on the Orisa. The Moira getting the kill on the Doomfist, the Reaper going down, as the Moira is staggered. State's now taking control of point. Entering overtime, Kiriko come in, but get taken down.
Ready for battle.
Going to take back.
Score.
Yeah, they had a weird composition there with that Doomfist, and it actually just worked out for them. In that Orisa swap might have been like a little too late for them, but you know, they only had that Kiriko to really help out that Doomfist, and they kind of had more poke damage than upfront damage besides the Doom, you know what I mean?
They were playing for dive using the Doomfist and the Echo, but they weren't really able, or they didn't really need to catch stay behind the first choke.
Yeah.
Capture the objective.
Moving on to Nepal Shrine, I believe. Going in. Pit State opting to bring other side. Oh, they got me last time. They're swapping on these. Is leading with that Doom. 41% too from Pit State. Genji getting 3 for Pit State back on Doom. Well,
Yeah,
that's trick. I don't know if it's from the rest of his big though getting back. We've seen him recently. You know, those Ks everywhere.
Yeah, outright work. Got it.
Just swap onto Alari from back away from the Ana. Possibly trying to use that turret to deal with some more healing damage while opting to bring more standard hit scan. The Echo trying to make something happen. Meteor Strike coming out. Again, getting no one. It's rare to see that ult get someone, but the Doomfist still makes something happen.
That was a
one.
crazy punch there.
Punch physics are weird. Though they do appear to secure the team fight against Pitt State, taking back point control. 17-23. Still anyone's game up here. Both teams having won a team fight, but anything could happen with this. Pitt State not opting for any swaps. Genji going in, trying to make something happen. He doesn't have his dash currently. Alright, take that back. He does, having secured the kill on Doomfist. So they appear to be working on getting a kill on the Alari and the Echo, as well as the Kiriko. Diva using duplicate to copy the Diva. Doomfist punching in. Tree having been used for Pitt State, as well as Diva Bomb.
Oh, what a
Diva
big
Bomb
bomb.
getting 1 as well as the turret. But this level of play, getting even 1 is good. Doomfist committing in with no teammates. If he doesn't make it out, he'll be going down here. As we see the Soldier take down 1 from Winnipeg. Doomfist again committing in, trying to make something happen on that Genji. Having seen him wreak havoc in the backline beforehand. The Echo coming in. Alari turret coming out as the 2 DPS and Alari continue to commit in, helping save that Doomfist. Pitt State not being on point to take control. 54-52.
Yeah, we really needed to see that Doomfist since you overcommit die there, and it just didn't happen.
Pitt State wasn't able to capitalize on the overcommitment. Sojourn not making it out in time as that Echo is cleaning up. Would have been nice to see her either die faster to stay with team and not get staggered, or opt to leave the fight earlier. Pitt State again opting to take that same route that they've been using this whole game, that Doomfist faking out a commit, though having no cooldowns currently. Winnipeg though having the ultimate game in their favor, having all 5, or close to all 5. We see the Soldier lose his ultimate getting taken down. Genji Blade come out, as well as the Alari Sunburst. Meteor Strike, as well as our Kitsune Rush came out. Duplicate from Echo. Being the last one alive for Winnipeg and getting staggered.
Good ults from Pitt State there. It really won them that fight.
It did, but it might have been a bit too much of a snowball, not having as many ults to come back with. I take that back. Pitt State having 3 on the board.
Yeah, they really only used Kiriko and Blade there, so.
They did. Seems as though Winnipeg might have committed too heavily. We see Kitsune Rush come out from Winnipeg as they try and retake point. That Doomfist having to push back. though the Sojourn may be being a little too far out of position. But they do take down the Doomfist, likely securing this point. So we will likely see one last fight. As the Echo pushes and opting to push just for point, Lifeweaver using Tree. As the On is coming out trying to make something happen. D.Va getting a kill. Lifeweaver also getting his kill on the Echo, with the Doomfist being the only one left around on point. Seismic Slam not securing anyone again. So they try and push him off getting a kill. This will likely be a Pit State victory unless Quinnipiac can truly stagger out this fight. Swapping onto a Tracer to try and get touch, but not able to secure it, as we see Blade come out for the last time. A little too late to do anything.
Yeah, they had a good fight there. They saved their ults, and it really got them that point and that secure victory. And it left the enemy team getting snowballed as well, with them staggering to get to the point.
That last point, not having the ultimates, definitely hurt Quinnipiac. We see them move on to this point, and it appears that they're opting for more of a sniper composition, moving away from the Soldier and onto a Hanzo, as Quinnipiac appears to stay mostly with the same thing, moving that second support again off of what they were playing before and onto Moira, with the alternate DPS that was playing Echo moving on to Symmetra, likely to take early point control.
Symmetra might be some trouble for the D.Va, because you can't really defense matrix that.
It might be, but with Sojourn still in, that sphere can definitely take care of turrets somewhat. This is definitely a point in favor of Symmetra play. D.Va trying to commit around left side. The swap off of Genji was likely a good swap from Pit State, as there isn't another, as they wouldn't get countered by the Symmetra beams as much. Lifeweaver saving that Hanzo as he got pulled out. Kiriko being bullied by this Doomfist as they try and push in, but are realizing their mistakes from the last game and not overcommitting as heavily. Still no one having received an elimination yet, as the fight for point is still going on. Quinnipiac having grabbed first control, 17-0. With Pit State going down to Kiriko, the Symmetra truly cleaning up on that, as we see the Lifeweaver get staggered slightly.
Yeah, I think we saw a little bit of an overcommitment from D.Va there. She pushed a little far and her healers had to come up and kind of risk the team there.
Might have been a slight overcommit, might have been a slight misplay. I have a correction. We're actually playing WVU Potomac State College. So that is a correction we have. We see a swap onto a Ramatra composition with nothing else changing. Just the swap onto Ramatra. As we quickly see the Hanzo secure one, but the Symmetra still grabbing two. This map being very heavily favored for Symmetra play. To be honest, right now I would rather see a swap onto possibly a Zarya, or maybe even a Roadhog, possibly.
Yeah, I think more so we need something to take care of those turrets, because we're seeing
Possibly
right now.
Winston.
Yeah, possibly a Winston is what I'm thinking.
That nice punch from Potomac's Doomfist, knocking the Ramatra out of position very early. Symmetra getting two, as well as the Doomfist getting one. We hear the Soldier ultimate come out from Potomac's Soldier. The Soldier securing the last one from Pit States, as Potomac will be taking the first map type.
Or was he already on there?
Who's got Goblin? Yeah, they were on there before.
Okay, yeah.
There's someone else. I don't know who that is. Because we're normally running Toxic Gamer as our alternate
No,
DPS.
so it was Goblin, because Rusty is the tank.
Rusty's the tank,
And then
Icy
Peps
Pete
was
or Icy Peps
usually the,
is the Genji.
Genji.
They do a really good job on the Genji though. They clean up that backline aggressively. I was ready for it. We're back, taking our second map on Kings Row. Pitt State opting for this as their escort map with their first loss of the series. We've seen them come back to this map often when they take that first loss. We'll have to see if they will be able to make something happen this time. I'm interested to see what team comps they bring. Pitt State often opting to bring more brawl-heavy comps on defense and substantially more dive-style compositions when on attack. But I'm not sure how the Doomfist composition that WV likes to bring will play on Kings Row. WV still opting to bring that Doomfist composition, but swapping in a Bastion. And Pitt State opting to bring what appears to be a Ram Rush composition, likely based upon the previous buff that he's just received. Opting to bring the Mei, given her recent nerf, but likely a baited answer to the Doomfist they suspect that WV could be bringing. Is there anything you'd rather see in these compositions that would?
For Pitt State, maybe we need a little bit more sniper play, personally, because we have two very close range, and if they kind of dive, we might not be able to get back fast enough to help our healers. So
I could see that likely happening. The Doomfist getting cut off early, but the Alari able to break in, the Bastion dropping the wall quickly and getting the Mei. Both teams had started to opt to bring an Alari, but WV opting to move off of it and onto Ana. The Ramatra getting one, but trading the Doomfist for a kill as well.
yeah, we see that Bastion. That's going to be big trouble for the Ramatra, as he doesn't really have any shield besides that resistance, you know what I'm talking about.
He's got his very short shield that he has while in normal form, and then the block and Nemesis, but it doesn't do that much against a Bastion. Coupled with the anti-nade that WV has brought, it will likely tear him apart. Pitt State did bring a cleanse though, so that could help here, but we'll be baited to see if that does anything. Capturing first point, still 5 minutes on the 5 minutes on the clock. Still anyone's game, but heavily in favor of WV right now. Pitt State opting for only a singular swap onto Echo, away from the Mei. WV keeping with the same composition. Meteor Strike coming out early, not securing anything. The Bastion securing one, Doomfist getting one after having his dive in. We see Ramatra swap, but getting taken down quickly by that Bastion. As that payload still keeps rolling, 4 minutes 43 seconds, and they're almost halfway through second point. That tank swap that we see, but I don't know if that's going to do anything. Is there any other tank swap you would have rather seen given the composition that WV has brought?
I mean, what we can really do here is maybe counter dive, but with that Bastion in the backline as well, it's going to be really hard. So, if anything, I would like maybe to see that Reaper get swapped off for, again, more like stable damage rather than close-up and personal damage.
For that tank swap, I might have rather seen a Sigma, to be honest, so we could play a little bit more outside of the Bastion's range, as well as block it with a shield and kinetic grasp to take care of some of that damage. Pitt State again just getting pushed back. The payload grabbing second point as it rolls into third, still having 5 minutes on the time bank. This is going to be an aggressive hold that Pitt State's going to have to make to keep this alive for this round.
Yeah, as you said, that Sigma swap might have been the play, as we're still trying to play really, or Pitt State's trying to play really aggressive here, and it's kind of not working out for them because that Bastion is just up there. Like, we see them holding this corner very aggressively instead of maybe putting out that shield and kind of passively doing damage instead of up in their face.
We see that burst come out as it gets the Doomfist, and they secure the Ana as well as the Bastion, but it might not be enough. Pitt State still has to hold this. That Brigida out way too far ahead, too far from her team. The commitment possibly being what could secure a loss. Pitt State dropping back. Doomfist thinking about going in but doesn't. Having empowered punch right now. Again, opting to hold back and wait for his team. Anti-name come out. The Doomfist jumps in trying to make something happen. Bastion ultimate.
This could be a big Reaper ult here.
Could be. Reaper's waiting his time, trying to figure out if he has a good spot to drop in and make something happen.
Yeah, if he gets rid of that CC, or they know when the CC's out, he could have a good chance of getting big kills here.
I feel like Pitt State right now is too focused on that Doomfist. Is that Bastion? The Doomfist dives in, taking all of their attention away from what's in front of them. Because that Bastion is able to just dump damage into them.
Yeah, we saw a Reaper push back those 3 players, and that really helped out there, but unfortunately it's just not enough.
Already having to stagger on point, trying to make something happen here. This will now be a game of touches to see who can hold longer. The Orisa coming out using Fortify, trying to make something happen. A swap onto Genji to try and make it work out. As we see an Orisa ult grabbing one. Reaper finishing off the Doomfist in the back. There's a swap to Tracer to get a final touch.
I think Orisa getting to point there really saved that.
It really did secure the hold there. Though they still have another almost 2 to 3 minutes to hold this point. This will still be very difficult for Pitt State to secure. Seeing the swap onto the Genji, definitely a comfort pick for Pitt State. That dive playstyle really being what they're trying to go after. That Doomfist trying to get a cheeky environmental kill, knock him off the edge of there.
Yeah, and with that Genji swap, WV still has that Ana, so it could be good for them.
Could be very good. Rusty going down early. Could be it for Pitt State as we see Darkness. Brigida go down, as well as the other support. Genji getting 2, Reaper getting 1. Genji getting a 3rd, having committed Blade. 2 DPS versus a tank here. Still could be anyone's game. Meteor Strike coming out. As they try and commit away. The Doomfist choosing to escape with Meteor Strike, not opting to continue to commit to the fight.
Good plays by the DPS on Pitt State side.
Good play as we see Darkness swap off of Brig and onto Lifeweaver. Opting to go for more directed healing and less AoE.
And we forgot to mention they switched off that Bastion, and that is really going to honestly help out our Orisa more
It's
so
really
than anything
securing
else.
the play for Pitt State, not having to deal with that nano boost on the Doomfist come out as he jumps in.
Huge overcommit though by him.
Huge overcommitment as he still isn't able to secure anything. The Olari going down, having been anti. As we see Echo commit in using a copy to get on Orisa. An anti coming out. Nobody dying to that Orisa ultimate. Pitt State bringing out their own. Trying to get one. Not able to secure it. As we see both of Pitt State's players, Icy Peps and Rusty. Pitt State still has their two supports on the payload as well as a DPS. As Tree comes out, helping to secure this hold. They're really fighting for this hold. I believe that's 47 seconds left on the clock. Again, that Meteor Strike not getting anyone. Pitt State having learned their lesson that first kill. Nobody wanting to die to that again. The Doomfist again trying to commit in, getting the Lari. But Pitt State's DPS swaps are just holding it down. So they refuse to give up this point.
Yeah, we really do see Pitt State kind of carrying their own right now. I think at the beginning they kind of had a lack of focus fire, and now they're starting to realize that when that Doom overcommits, we need to get them as fast as we can before their team pushes.
And the swap off the Bastion means that they can choose to commit onto the Doomfist more consistently without having to worry about what's behind them. A second copy from the Echo coming out again onto that Orisa, a Kitsune from them, as the Doomfist goes down, as he tried to get one earlier, but we saw the Genji barely escape it. Genji Blade come out, as he gets one. As I believe that will be it for Pitt State as they secure their first round. Only 2 points captured by WV.
That was a very tense round. Do you have any thoughts on that? I mean, overall, we kind of saw the Doomfist really getting a lot of plays, and like I said, maybe a lack of focus fire from Pitt State at the very beginning. But towards the end, they kind of got all their stuff together and they started, how do you say, getting rid of that Doom out of the picture.
Pitt State, we saw with the Nepal maps, they're realizing that the Doomfist, though he is big and scary and can commit into the backline aggressively and possibly get some kills, unless he has the follow-up of the rest of his team, he really isn't that terrifying and isn't that much of a concern. So we saw on Nepal third map, the Symmetra was really what they had a hard time dealing with. It wasn't really that Doomfist. And it's really the fact that they're paying too much attention to the Doomfist when they shouldn't have to.
Yeah, I agree. That Doomfist, he's diving in by himself, but he honestly cannot do anything unless his team's with him. For example,
the Bastion play on our first round of King's Row showing that once they swap off, the Doomfist really couldn't commit onto anything.
Yeah, with that lack of damage from Doomfist kit and no follow-up from his DPS, it really just he couldn't secure any kills, and it really helped out Pitt State there.
Really did. WV opting to go off of the Doomfist and onto a Ramatra Rushcom for their defense, hoping to make something happen over what Pitt State could bring with that. Pitt State still opting to bring their Orisa, but choosing to bring double sniper instead of their dive composition that they've been bringing recently with the Genji Reaper that has worked out so well for them. The Maywall securing Rusty out as he makes it out of the way. We hear the Widow trying to make something happen. The ult economy, though, in Pitt State's favor.
This could be big from Pitt State as they don't really have anyone to counter those snipers, honestly.
They didn't really bring much to counter it, trying to play this semi-brawl composition. But that Ramatra not being able to get many commitments on. That Maywall being a little too far out of position as the Widow gets one in the back line. Though it's an instant res by WV. That anti-nade on Rusty could be a lot. But he's able to get out in time. That Maywall just not being as effective as it was the first 3 times. Rusty realizing that he needs to play a little bit further back. As WV gets their first kill onto the Hanzo.
I think that res there really did mess up Pitt State. I feel like if they could have stopped that res, they definitely would have had momentum going forward.
The momentum with Rusty also opting to go through Hotel to try and make a crossfire as well as a flank was definitely something worth bringing. If only they hadn't had that 5th player make something happen. The Reaper and the Orisa getting trapped out with that Maywall. Reaper going down quickly. And Orisa tries to get further in, all the way, no team behind her, as she goes for the ultimate. It's none, but we do see the tree come out, as well as a dragon. But that's a nano Ramatra running on the back line, as he gets one.
If that dragon came out a little faster, we might have seen a big play from Pitt State there.
That dragon had come out a slight bit sooner, and the rest of the team had been behind Rusty as he made that push in. Might have been something. A swap from Pitt State, too. Rusty swapping off of the Orisa and onto a Zarya, trying to make them pay for bringing that poke composition, punishing them for just shooting at him. And a swap off of the double swap off of our DPS, moving away from the double sniper and onto a pure brawl composition. Annihilation coming out as they're quickly taken down, not being able to secure much of that.
I think
Soldier
this
for WV.
think the Zarya swap is a very good decision, but looks like right when I say that, they get taken down.
2 seconds too late. A sooner swap would have probably secured them that fight earlier.
So they could have more time going up.
Yeah.
But now they're kind of on edge, and looks like they only have about 1 minute to work with besides this cap, so.
They'll have roughly 3.5 going into second point, but still. Contrary to WV, who had 5 minutes going into second point.
Yeah, I think this Zarya Bastion combo might work out in Pitt State's favor. They didn't switch off that Ram, and Zarya and Bastion just destroy Ram really fast too. So.
Zarya and Bastion have a really strong synergy, as Bastion can play further forward and not have to worry too much, especially with that Life Weaver swap that we made, as the Bastion can commit further in, being protected by both Zarya and the Life Weaver. Tree coming up from Pitt State as well as the Bastion ult, as they try and secure more, just continuing to walk. Bastion getting one, as Rusty rolls over them with high charge.
Big picks, big picks. They might have to push up here so they can secure that point fast.
Taking that front corner very aggressively and very quickly is very important, securing this this checkpoint. We see a swap onto D.Va from WV away from the Ramatra. That D.Va might not be the pick considering Zarya, as they can't really defense matrix that beam and it will just eat that D.Va alive. As we see them go down and out of mech almost instantly. Grav coming out, as Rusty secures another 2. As they secure second checkpoint, having another 3.5 minutes to roll on. That point having never stopped moving.
Yeah, I don't know about that D.Va swap. It really is not going to help them at all.
They appear to have tried to swap onto a far more dive aggressive comp, having that one anchor with the Bastion and the dive from the D.Va Echo, but it doesn't appear to be doing too much. Pitt State having brought 3 hit scan to deal with that Echo. A copy onto Alari is an interesting choice from WV's Echo. As we see the Alari will get eaten by the D.Va. The Bastion duo going to Pitt State, as Echo is able to commit their copied Alari ult before leaving. Taking down 2, but that Bastion not going down without a fight, taking down the Echo with him. As Pitt State rolls onto that point, it's going to be a battle of the touches again. Gravitic Flux coming out, securing that. Only 2 kills left that Pitt State requires to make this theirs. D.Va ult coming out, not securing anyone. As well as their Bastion ult, again, not doing anything. All Pitt State has to do here is secure this point, though they have plenty of time to do it as they opt to fall back and regroup. A better play from Pitt State, choosing to save their lives and save their ultimate charge.
Agreed.
And commit onto this point.
Yeah, I think that fight could have lasted a lot longer, and with them trying to constantly touch it, probably was not going to work out. So it was a good decision to pull back there.
As we've seen before, Pitt State having an interesting choice as to when to stay in fights and not. WV opting to swap onto the Reinhardt, trying to make something happen there, knowing they're having to play immediately on top of point to keep this from going anywhere. Moving away from that dive that they don't really need anymore. As Pitt State really has to come to them. Zarya at that high charge though.
Yeah, Pitt State still has that Bastion to mow down that Rhine shield, but it looks like it's not working out.
WV's Bastion getting in the groove, taking down 2. My Bastion just trying to get some level of poke damage in, trying to build that ultimate. Hopefully for last fight. 45 seconds left on the clock. There's no opportunity for a draw here, as Pitt State will have to either secure the point or lose. The Bastion coming out, trying to punish that Reinhardt. Reinhardt shield breaking. As he's left alone. Gravitic Flux coming, or Grab coming out. With Senior Rush and Life Weaver saving them out of it. As we see WV's by a free retreat, as well as Bastional. Pitt State committing to rest with their ults in. 10 seconds left on the clock. Opting to go big or go home.
I think if Reaper can get their ult fast enough, they might be able to secure the point, but they're getting taken out.
Dusty going
WV.
down could be it. The Reaper ultimate coming out as that takes down one, as well as the Bastion securing two. Only thing left is this ball on point, just trying to get a stall here. But I don't think they'll be able to secure much aside from holding down point a little bit longer. The Kiriko going down as Pitt State secures that in overtime. Second map going to Pitt State.
Great stuff from Pitt State. I think we saw how they worked there and how they were starting to counterpick towards the end, and with that Zarya swap, it really pushed the momentum on their side. What do you have to say about that?
The Zarya pick was really all they needed, pushing them back and punishing them just for shooting at the tank, which it appears that WV really likes to do. That Echo, though, playing maybe slightly too aggressive. I'll send it back to you, though, for a few more comments.
Let's just...
No.
It has changed. It's
I'll
random.
say them when they come up because you can't hear them. Oh, I guess no.
We don't want to play Servasa.
Apparently not. All right, we're back, and it appears WV will be opting to take us to Servasa. different than what we've seen from our recent flashpoints, having been playing on a lot of New Junk City. I'm interested to see, as Pitt State doesn't really have a lot of
Ready for battle.
league or in-match time on Sarasa, at least on broadcast. So it'll be interesting to see what they try and bring here. Opting to bring, again, that both brawl, dive, poke composition. Bring Zarya, Genji, Soldier, Alari, Lifeweaver. WV still opting to bring that Doomfist, though. Opting for more mobility over the damage.
Market.
Interesting to see if Pitt State learns their lesson, choosing to ignore that Doomfist when he overcommits and take care of the team behind him. Our first point will be Market, though. Doomfist committing early. So you see them get in, get out, trying to build some of that extra shield. So that Doomfist early secures that kill on on Pitt State's Genji. Soldier having dropped his heal pad early. Doomfist again committing early. Zarya already at full charge. Ilari going down, having been staggered out, as the Genji's just now making it back to fight. Soldier trying to get some poke damage in, but they don't appear to be able to make much happen. The Doomfist play could work out for WV, as they are going to need high mobility to get around with the long distance between objective points.
Yeah, and I think we talked about Doomfist being isolated, and it looks like WV is now trying to work with the Doomfist now a little bit more, as we saw with that Reaper play, him going in and getting that couple of kills.
Though we have the Zarya and we do have poke characters from WV, I'm not sure that Zarya is going to get much due to not having a lot of poke to play out of. The Pitt State does look like they'll be capturing a point in overtime. Bring it back slightly, as WV and Pitt State both committed their life through trees. That Doomfist dying early, having committed in. Two ultimates on the board, or two for Pitt State, one for WV, being Seismic Slam.
Here with Visor coming up as well.
Visor coming up. Pitt State having almost three on the board, being Blizzard, Grab, and Blade.
I think ultimately here, Pitt State needs to get rid of that Kiriko before she can pop her ult.
That Meteor Strike coming out again, getting no one. Pitt State not wanting to die to it again. Rusty getting two, having committed a grab, as well as the Genji Blade in the back, helping secure those kills. Pitt State maybe being able to make a flip on this point, securing 109 as WV tries to take control. Soldier ultimate behind, but it isn't soon enough to secure that point, as Pitt State takes first point on Sarasa.
Yeah, very aggressive plays from the Zarya there to push them back, so they couldn't get to the point fast enough.
Push from the Zarya coupled with the aggressive holding of the Alari on point. They're being pushed to rotate awkwardly for this second point. Zarya is still staying at full charge, trying to make it around here. We move on to one of our more enclosed points on this map. May opting to keep people out. As you see that Lifeweaver ultimate commit in. Blizzard, both trees, as well as a Reaper ultimate. That Doomfist trying to make something happen, but just generally being ignored by Pitt State, as Icy Peps gets three.
Yeah, big plays from our DPS there. We saw that May kill the Kiriko and our Genji going in and popping off.
Pitt State appears to have learned that lesson, Once the Doomfist is alone, there's not much he can do. The team play required just doesn't appear to be always unlocked for WV. Zarya standing out in the open, just trying to keep charge up. As Icy Peps gets another one early, but getting taken down by the Moira swap that they brought.
Yeah, he might have overcommitted on that Doom, but it's definitely worth it, honestly. With no tank, it's kind of hard for the other players
Zarya
to push
ultimate
in.
coming out and getting cleansed. Still pushing them back and likely securing second point. Doomfist committing in, trying to make something happen. As we said, when that Doomfist alone, there's not much you can do. So fight in overtime now to see who will be taking control. Genji Blade coming out, as most of Pit State is dead, but Genji getting one. Possibly working towards the second as he goes down. It appears WV has opted to go back to that Doomfist composition they were running on King's Row Attack. Playing that Doomfist Bastion. Doomfist committing in and taking attention as that Bastion is able to just dump damage while in tank form and get some early kills. I'm interested to see we don't have any swaps from Pit State, likely due to still having that Gravitic Flow, or having the grab on hand. Certain grab in, we could see a big double play here.
This could be a huge
Soldier
grab.
ultimate and Kitsune. The Soldier takes down 1, 2. Genji trying to make something happen as he gets flanked by that Soldier. 3 left on Pit State's side. At this point, it's just closer and closer to a 99-99. The May rushing a point just to make something happen and stall. Doesn't get there quick enough. As it appears WV will be taking second point. We move on to our third point, Ruins. I take it back, we're moving on to our flashpoint, Palace. Point having a lot of high grounds around it. Interesting to see who makes it here first. Pit State having the benefit, having died first, being able to make it there quicker. As that grab rotates, and a Blizzard getting that double commit, as we see. Getting 1, 2, and a third. The Icy Peps again going down to that Moira. And Pit State being taken down by WV, that Doomfist getting the last kill on that May. The swap that we predicted from Pit State as they move on to Orisa, away from that Zarya having used their grab. Still anyone's game though, needing 3 to secure the entirety of Flashpoint. So WV having an early lead on getting it to be a 2-1. 34-0. Pit State out to try and take that high ground down. Doomfist committing in makes it really hard for them to hold. Bastion ultimate as well as the Lifeweaver tree. As Rusty goes down, being caught out by the Soldier. WV just playing in a very large cluster, trying to keep back, playing behind the fountain for cover. As the Doomfist commits, getting 1. That Genji still playing behind, trying to make something happen as a meteor strike comes out. Might be an overcommit of an ultimate, but Doomfist does get out. As they'll be taking second point and moving on, or third point as we move on to fourth point of Flashpoint. Got Genji still playing in, trying to build ultimate. Rusty's still opting to try and fight here. His team having already tried to rotate. That Genji, not letting that Doomfist get away. Still trying to punish him.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
Long rotate. So they have to walk from one side to the other. But it appears WVU will be making here first to hold defense. Pit State will have to push into them. This point's very difficult to retake due to the point being on high ground and the rest being low.
Yeah, I think what we need to see from Pitt State here is taking out maybe the healers or that Bastion first, and then starting to prioritize other targets. Last point, we saw a little over aggressiveness from Rusty or Orisa, and it kind of caused them that point.
To be honest, I'd rather see them start ignoring that Doomfist. He isn't achieving a whole lot while he's alone in the back line, possibly only getting one or even no kills. So it might be better to just completely ignore him when he dives in and just keep walking on that team, now being devoid of a tank. Pitt State is able to flip it, being 2 to 58. Meteor Strike again coming out, getting one. Second time we've seen Meteor Strike get a kill. As that Doomfist continues to commit and takes down both supports for Pitt State, as they have nothing to keep them alive. As the Orisa is having to back out. The Genji going down to the Moira, as Rusty's taken down by a Doomfist, continuing to flank.
Yeah, I think like you said, Orisa there was focusing on the Doomfist, and it kind of costed them that space and that point. Hopefully they can get their back fast enough, but it looks like they might not be able to.
Looks like they might not be able to. At a minimum, we will be going to a map 4 with Pitt State having secured one now. Pitt State not able to secure it, as our flashpoint map, Servasa, will be going to WV.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much they could have done besides really ignoring that Doomfist and kind of pushing forward. But that Doomfist was kind of being a little pest, and might have gotten into their heads a little bit with all his plays going on, as we see here.
3-kill or 4-kill plays in the backline really made them think he was a much bigger target than he probably was. That Bastion likely being the bigger target, though.
And let's... Snipers are pretty decent too.
We'll be taking our 4th map push to Coliseo. Pitt State opting to bring what appears to be a Ramatra rush composition compared to WV bringing back that Doomfist dive. That tank really liking to play Doomfist. Coliseo being definitely in favor of it right now.
Yeah, I think we said that they were going to either pick a Ram or a Doom, and
first map 4 of a series, as Doomfist gets to point early with his high mobility. Pitt State on the back foot already. That Ramatra, though, getting some value early, taking Doomfist almost all the way down. As they bring a Bastion, unsurprisingly, to help the Ramatra commit. State apparently taking the front foot again is that Doomfist overcommits. Most of Pitt State ignoring him, especially the tank. They realize there's not much that he can do in the backline. Genji committing in, getting one, as well as the Bastion getting a second, a third, and a fourth as there goes WV's team. Do you think there was anything WV could have done there to change that?
Maybe a little less aggression from Doomfist there. He kind of overcommitted and he missed a couple of punches, which really did punish him. Maybe stay and try and more so punch off the robot instead of pushing forward to punch people.
Yeah. I think we could see a heavier commit onto Bastion from Doomfist, but with both the supports playing on top of that Bastion, likely the least diveable target on Pitt State's team, to be honest. As Bastion actually goes down to the Soldier playing high ground, Doomfist committing on the two, taking down the support, both supports and the DPS, as they walk the robot back to their barricade. Pitt State, though, having the early lead halfway to first checkpoint.
Yeah, and like we talked about on those last couple of matches, that Doomfist having that follow-up with his Reaper and his Soldier there really costed Pitt State.
The Doomfist, if he doesn't have that follow-up, really can't make much happen. But once he gets follow-up from the rest of his team, there's almost nothing Pitt State can do about it. But Doomfist again being alone in that backline, but having a Meteor Strike to try and get out. They're just playing in Pitt State's spawn right now. 4 ults on the board, almost 5 for Pitt State, not having committed any yet. Seeming to save them for one massive push to keep them off of this. WV almost taking first checkpoint. They appear to be trying to play smart here, knowing that no matter how many people over one you have on the bot, it doesn't move faster. Rusty getting one, but Gar, the Reaper on WV's team, taking one down, but Icy Pep's not letting him stay around for long. That Soldier being a little too far ahead. You see the Ramatra run after him, trying to chase him around. Life Fever Tree coming out. As this Doomfist is playing aggressively in Pitt State's backline, getting the slam and kill onto Sky there, Moira. That Doomfist still alive in the backline, but again, not able to make much happen as he's alone back there. Again, 4 ultimates on the board for Pitt State. They're really saving them up to try and use them for something. So I would like to see this Moira ult as is a very fast build.
Yeah, I think we need to see, honestly, since, yeah, like you said, Moira gets her ult so fast, we need to just see her pop that, usually instantly. Regarding other ults, I think maybe after Ram ults, they might swap off to Orisa, possibly, to deal with the Doom. And like we said, Doom is not really that big of a problem, but he is pestering them, especially when his teammates following them up.
He's currently being very good, as we've seen this whole series, at dragging Pitt State's attention away from what's in front of them, pulling it straight over their heads to the Doomfist in the back line. It's really been pulling them directly away from where they need to be. That Meteor Strike is that Doomfist just keeps committing onto the back line. Getting one. Reaper ult getting 2, as well as Soldier getting 1. As they were just playing in that back line, that Rusty was just too far forward to help.
Yeah, and again, like we were talking about, that Doom going in the Reaper follow-up left Ramatra all by themselves to fend off the 3 remaining players, and Pitt State's team just died to the ultimates there.
Reaper's ability to TP in with Doomfist's slam is really done a lot to commit here. As we've seen Annihilation come up, quickly taken down. Not able to secure much. As we see Pitt State finally committing some ultimates, but I feel it's a little too... not enough, and a little too late.
Yeah, like I said, I figured they would switch back to that Orisa after that Ram ult, especially after that Ram ult.
Rusty being a comfort Orisa pick on occasion. But I'm surprised that this Reaper's still alive, as that tree is there purely to save some face and keep them alive. They're not doing much once they round that corner. Though decently timed, that now that Pitt State's committing out of it, it's gone. Not trying to waste much of it.
Orisa getting a bunch of cleanup kills there, helping out Pitt State, pushing back that Doomfist as well, stop the pestering, stop the little fly from buzzing.
That Doomfist is one pesky gnat. May not do a whole lot, but man, is he annoying. Meteor Strike again coming out. You see it get no one. The Moira ulting. She quickly gets taken down as well as the Life Reaver, having no supports left around to help. Rusty getting antied. He tries to make something happen. A Nanoed Reaper, maybe a little too much of a commitment to this fight, having only one member of Pitt State left alive. But that, the Reaper for Pitt State getting staggered pretty aggressively. So he'll be the last to make it back to fight. Like I said, those ultimates just a little bit too late for Pitt State as they've held on to them a little bit too long. Not able to have more ultimates for later in the fight. Doomfist having, I believe, Meteor slammed 3 or 4 times by now. Rusty getting slept out. That Doomfist just keeps committing into that back line. Moira trying to make something happen. Rusty trying to push someone off. But even pacing here for Pitt State and WV, but Pitt State takes this push as they keep walking that bot back. WV still holding a pretty aggressive lead though. 3 minutes left in this match. We see a Junkrat swap from Pitt State. I'm not sure how much value that will bring. Anything you would rather see them ring rather than a Junkrat?
I mean, a Junkrat could be good for maybe holding down the Doom, but for all the other characters, they really have a lot of getaway besides the Ana, and maybe instead of Junkrat, maybe just like a soldier or something, just to get that, you know, again, like I was talking about earlier, that steady flow of damage going on.
That consistent damage over time that they appear to be missing. Reaper getting 3 as they continue to walk forward, Rusty being taken down early in that fight as the Junkrat that we were talking about gets 1. Close to tire though. Could make something happen. See that trap come out on high ground. Possibly trying to grab someone out that isn't paying attention.
Yeah, and a big tire here could put it into Pitt State's favor. Cartwise.
Really could. 3 of them playing right there up on high ground. Right now would not be a good time to use it though, considering Soldier has Visor. Being an instant kill on that tire. WV having 1 ultimate with a second one on the way.
Looks like he tires.
Tires getting the Reaper, but nothing else going on as Doomfist commits grabbing the Pitt State's Reaper and knocking Moira out of her ultimate on Pitt State. Most of Pitt State gets taken down decently quickly. Moira running for her life but not able to escape. The Life Reaver kind of trapped here, likely going to get staggered quite aggressively. As we see him get staggered. Going to be very late to this fight. Pitt State having only 1 ultimate on the board. It'll be interesting to see how they play this.
I think we're going to need to see a big Orisa ult here.
Big Orisa ult and likely a... Oh, and we see that swap that we were talking about, swapping onto Soldier away from that Junkrat. It's going to help deal with that Pharah, but it might just be a little too late. As we see 2 in the back line of Pitt State go down to that Pharah. As WV, not needing any more distance, just keeps pushing that bot forward. 50 seconds left in this match. Pitt State will have to win it in overtime if they do. They're just being held in that spawn.
Yeah, we're going to need to see some picks soon, or WV's just going to take this. We see a pick on Soldier, but they get 2 in return.
Swap away from Soldier onto Ash for Pitt State. But Rusty still holding on to that ultimate. They go down. As this fight continues to hold out, it'll be unlikely to see Rusty back in this fight.
Looks like it's going to be all up to Reaper to hold in. I don't think he'll last very long.
To Reaper to hold down as we see a barrage come out. As we see that ult come out. Will it get anyone? It gets 2. Both supports.
Huge.
This could be enough for Pitt State. That Meteor Strike coming down. Tree being down for Pitt State, as this could be the hold to do it.
Get rid of that Pharah first.
That Pharah needs to go down. They're just oppressing the air. Pitt State actually being able to hold moving into overtime, but this is going to be a very difficult push for Pitt State. You need to claim another 70-something meters to make this happen.
We see they swapped back to Genji. That could be a misplay here with that Pharah.
It could be, but those comfort picks might just be what Pitt State needs right now.
Yeah, if the Genji's comfortable enough, they probably can take care of that Pharaoh, so.
Not necessarily take care of the Pharaoh, but just be able to hold together in a case of composition and not lose the bot, as it is overtime. They cannot leave. They have to keep this push alive. 2 go down for Pitt State. As that Doomfist is working on a third as he takes them down. Vara getting 1, as it's all up to Reaper again to hold down this point.
Looks like
They appear to be
that'll
too far away. And that'll be it as WV takes map 4, 3-1, WV up.
Yeah, I think we saw some big plays from WV's Doomfist there. Lots of pestering from him, and with those combo plays, it was really hard for Pitt State to kind of get a grip of what they need to do and what plays they need to bring out.
I think we really said it best when we said WV's Doomfist really wasn't playing to get kills, but really just to annoy Pitt State and draw their attention away. The second WV was able to commit further forward and take advantage of their lack of attention, it really went in favor of them. But I think that'll be all for us on Pitt State Esports this week, for Overwatch at least. Don't forget to come back later in the week for, I believe, Smash Bros. That is up later, as well as, I believe, Valorant tomorrow, if they're playing.
I think there might be Overwatch as well tomorrow. I am not certain, but...
Possibly. Either way, we'll see you back later this week. That'll be all from us.
Thank you guys for joining.